Welcome to the Make Me Whole podcast. I'm your host, Josette Rosado, and it's time to talk getting past what's difficult, trusting our own abilities to do more, and keeping it that way. Welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. Oh my gosh, guys. I can't believe we have made it to the end of the season. It has been such a joy for me to be here to just share everything that I've shared over the last several months and just the feedback from everyone, just on how they have experienced the podcast, the stories that have been shared, the understanding of how to handle certain difficult times and difficult situations. And I could not ask for a better way to end the year. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the idea of people having a hard time liking or even loving themselves. Sometimes everything feels like it's not good enough, and we're always trying to fit in or have people accept us. And what we find is that every little tiny moment of feeling negative or receiving negative feedback from someone else, be it that they pick on you or they criticize you, it actually affects us significantly and oftentimes stays with us just forever. Everyone says, love yourself, right? But no one really knows exactly what that means. I mean, what does it look like? What does it feel like? It's sort of really broad to just say love yourself, right? But everybody's experience is going to be different. The way I love myself has really been not holding back from doing things that I want to because I'm worried about who's going to give their opinion about it. And that opinion, of course, is going to be negative. I also no longer keep myself quiet so that others can have their voice heard around me, or make myself small so that they can also have their own time to be big. I'm proud about how I work on my boundaries. Now that's big stuff, right? But I can also love myself for the little things I do, how I do my makeup, how I hug my kids, how I allow people to support me when most times all I wanted to do was be independent. We have to find those small things that we like about ourselves. Here's an idea. Before you go to bed, I want you to just think about your day and think of a small win. A lot of times we don't realize how often our brain is just scanning and thinking about everything that could be wrong, could go wrong, will go wrong. And there's a lot we don't give ourselves credit for. You need to interrupt those negative thoughts with that one win you had for a day. Now, I know it's hard and it takes time, but you've got to work on it. It'll eventually become easier, maybe even a habit breaker. Self-hatred ends when you stop criticizing yourself. Remember, you live in your own skin, and you're really the only person you need to please. You're not going to be able to sustain your whole life trying to concentrate on how happy everybody is around you. There's nothing wrong with me. You know, I used to wake up worried about what was wrong with me, who I was, whether or not the criticisms I received were true. But then I realized that we have to turn to self-acceptance. You start by saying nothing's wrong with you, and you accept yourself exactly how you are and how you aren't. If you just did that, you completely change how you perceive yourself. Of course, there are things that I can improve, but in full essence, there's nothing wrong with me. And if you say to yourself, there's nothing wrong with me, why don't you just like yourself? Again, other people can have opinions, but that doesn't have to stop you from liking yourself. I know that sometimes people think, well, I'm going to hit that goal. I'm going to love myself if I lost weight or get that job. But there's no motivation to change if all you do is bash yourself and look at the things that are negative. The only thing that's stopping you from liking yourself is your own judgment. Remove the judgment and add in kindness. What was the moment of my epiphany? I don't know. I don't think I necessarily had one. I think it's a process that has taken so long for me to get to. But I do know that I criticize myself less and accept more, especially of the things that I felt needed to be different or change. I think I've also learned to wake up and give myself that high five, knowing that no matter what the day is going to throw, I'm going to get through it. Learning to accept and be kinder to yourself, that can happen at any age. And I know I've been working on this daily. Remember, if you struggle with this, it's never late to have a new relationship with who you are and what you want to be. This podcast has meant a lot to me because it was on my checklist of things to do for 2022. The biggest takeaway for me, accepting yourself, being kind to yourself and others, and most especially, allowing ourselves to both give and receive unconditional love. There's nothing wrong with me, and I'm grateful for the ability to give myself the grace that I need to accept the person I am today. Guys, we made it all the way through our first season of the Make Me Whole podcast. Thank you so much for being part of this whole process and for all your love and support. If you want to reach out to me, please do so by emailing me at makemewhole@bossesofbliss.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Bosses of Bliss, and of course on TikTok at Blissful Boss. Please remember, complain less and do more. And I'll see you guys back in January for season 2 of Make Me Whole. Take care.